First, I'll be applying a BB cream as my base for my makeup. Then I will moisturize my lips. Here I am using a beige color eye pencil to mark the division between the sugar skull and the natural face makeup that I will be doing, and I am making the lines as crooked as possible. Notice here that I'm not just making a normal diagonal shape across my face, but an irregular one because I want to achieve that kind of rip-off face, plus it makes it more interesting. Next, I will be tracing the hollows of the eyes of the sugar skull, and I am still using the beige eyeliner instead of the black eyeliner, although the eyes of the sugar skull are black to avoid mistakes and mess. While I'm at it, I'm feeling the natural hollows of my eyes so that I won't get away with the size of the eyes to my head. This is my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, which I depotted, and I am applying it as a face paint for my sugar skull, and I'm just applying and blending it away with my beauty blender. I really wish I found out about this technique and used this for about 2 years ago when I did my first Dia de los Muertos photo shoot, because this technique is much faster, less hassle, much cheaper, no mess, and absolutely finer compared to the face paint that I used. And here I'm just using a brush along the lines to make it more precise. I will be setting everything with my favorite setting powder, and with this brush I'm just going to lightly push it in to avoid scratching through and then disturbing the products that is already in there. Here I'm just outlining the hollows of the eyes first with a brush to have precision and control, then later on we'll just be filling them in with the same product. Here I'm just rimming my eyes with this black eyeliner to erase that flesh tone underneath. It just makes it really perfect hollow eyes. Of course, I will be setting that black gel eyeliner with a black eyeshadow, plus it adds opacity. here I'm just using a black eyeliner pen to make the outline of the petals for my eyes. And here I'm just filling in the petals with a white eyeliner just in case the colors won't show up as much as I wanted it to be, just to make sure. Then I'm just filling in the petals with a purple eyeshadow. And here I'm just using a black eyeliner pencil to intensify the edges of the petals, and because I'm going to smudge them a little bit later on, just so I think it adds more of that gothic feel. Then here I'm just adding small detailing on my sugar skull. On my nose, first I'm just going to make dots along so that it will be easier to know where I will be going when I make the actual shape, and later on just connect the dots. I will be making a kind of interesting shape on my nose because I want to avoid that dog-ish kind of shape that will be happening if I will be following my actual nose shape, and I added that pointy kind of ish underneath my nose, so it makes it much more interesting. Then, like what I did with my eyes, I will be filling them in, and then later on we'll be setting them again with the same eyeshadow. Here I'm just using a black eyeliner pen to make the pointy ends really pointy because it's details. Then here I'm on my chin already, and then I'm just drawing in some shape, just a flower, and of course some petals, and then later on I will be filling them in with colors. After I fill them in, I'm going to run through again with the outline with a black eyeshadow just to intensify the lines and smudge them again a little bit, just like what I did with the petals on my eyes. Then on my lips, I'm going to apply some black lipstick on the insides of my lips so that to have an illusion of a slightly gapped lips. Then here I'm just drawing a signature sugar skull cheekbone, which I will erase later on because I don't like it. Then on my lips, I'm just making a crooked lines rather than a straight traditional sugar skull straight lines because I like it to look more cracked skull, so I'm going as crooked as possible as I can be. Then I'm using a lipstick and a very fine brush to intensify the cracks more. Then I'm adding more cracks to have more details. For my cheeks, I'm just using my actual cheekbones to trace and to draw in because I believe it is just the right proportion. Then I'm just smudging the lines with a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm just doing this gradually because it is much easier to add in the colors rather than to pack in and just later on troubleshooting on the mess. Now with a lip liner, I'm just tracing on the lines that I drew previously with white. That is to illusion a burnt, swelling skin. Now I will be using a foundation on the still human side of my face, using my fingers to avoid mess. Then once again, setting it with a setting powder with a brush in a tapping motion. Now I'm just adding more burns using a pink and orange color, just switching them through or mixing them to make it more realistic. Then for me, the fun part is applying makeup on what is left of its human form. I just think it's just so cool. And here I'm just using a primer on my eyes for the eyeshadows that I will be putting in. I'm just using a light shade on my brow bone. Then with the same brush, I am applying a beautiful gold color on my whole eyelids and also underneath. Then with a bronzy color, I am just going to intensify the hollows of my eyes, still using the same brush. I'm just simply swiping it back and forth to blend it. Sometimes I'm going back in with that gold color with my finger and then swipe it back and forth to blend and add more colors. Then I'm using a black color to intensify more of that hollow. Now I'm adding more decorations on my sugar skull and I'm just drawing in some paisley, I guess. Now I'm filling them in with that mix in milk so that the colors that I will be putting in will be as intense as the colors inside the sugar skull. I'm just using the same hot pink and the same orange as I used on my chin and on the burns that I made earlier. Now I'm just outlining my eyes, and later on I will add my false eyelashes, which is not shown in this video. The rest will be just some touch-ups and finalizations and contouring. Now I'm just touching up my hair, doing something, and of course adding my flower crowns, which my sister made me for a spring video, which did not happen. So now I'm just wishing I still have my first flower crowns from my first Dia de los Muertos, which is somewhere now in a vase in our house. So that is basically all. Thank you for watching.